Hey guys, welcome to our second installment of my new series called Chat Guitar, Play, and Teach. You could also just call it ChatGPT, not to be confused with that whole artificial intelligence thing. But I figure, hey, I don't know, might as well go along with that name anyway. Can't hurt, right? So yeah, so the format we're going to follow is like what I said. We're just going to talk a little bit about what's going on, what's happening in my world. You can chime in with what's going on in your world too. And then we're just going to play a little bit, and then I'll teach you basically what I played as best as I can. So for anybody who subscribed recently, thanks so much. I'm kind of blown away because I have a really small channel currently, and I've had probably picked up over 100 subscribers. Started with like 200, so it's a pretty big increase. 100 people probably in the last couple weeks. So thank you for being here. I had a really great performing video on double stops, and a lot of those ideas I got from one of my favorite players especially my favorite Telecaster players, and that's a guy named Guthrie Trapp. He is unbelievable musician, guitar player, fantastic teacher. If you haven't checked him out, you really need to. The guy can play just about anything. He can play anything, let's just be honest, whatever he wants to play. Blues, rock, jazz. His own songwriting is fantastic. I love the way that he composes. There's always like a lot of movement in his songs, and even though they're instrumentals, they're super engaging to listen to, I think, even for people that aren't necessarily guitar players or musicians, so that's always a bonus. So everyone that knows about me, I kind of come from a jazz background, so I really enjoy that part of his playing, is just the ability to just communicate the chord changes and make it clear what the harmony is behind what's going on. So anyway, a lot of those double stop licks that I learned were directly from Guthrie. So just want to give credit where credit is due. This is important to have your heroes and know who you want to sound like, and it's important to support those people too. So one of the things, last night I was checking out him playing live at the Underdog Lounge in Nashville. It's just killer band, his trio. Those guys knock it out of the park every time. And and just check out his True Fire courses and all that too. I don't know him. If you're out there, Guthrie, thanks, man. You're really having a huge positive impact on me as a guitar player. And I think more people need to know about you. And he's doing a great job with his social media and posting tons of lessons, content. Just if anything, the point of this is just to get you over to his channel and check out what he's got going on. I've benefited so much, so I'm just trying to pay it forward. Just trying to pay back all the knowledge that I'm getting from him. So on that note, he has a little tune I've been listening to it's called Shag Rug Burn, and it's an A in the key of A here. And the lick in the beginning, I've only learned this by ear, so I'm not saying it's note for note. This is just my interpretation of it, but real slow it goes like. I'm gonna play it at tempo. He just plays it burn, and it's like, and he does the kind of the different fills and things too. But I'm going to slow that down and show that to you. Let me play it slow again. I guess that wasn't that slow. And anybody that knows me, I want to make this accessible to everybody. I want to show you the notes I'm doing and talk through it. So I'm starting here, and keep in mind this is just my version of what Guthrie's doing. So it's not I don't claim to be perfect. Just want to show you, I think it sounds cool the way it sits right now. So I'm going to start on the 10th fret of high E, and I'm going to hammer on from the 10th to the 12th fret like this. Okay, so 10 to 12 on high E. Go down to the 8th fret of high E and hammer on 8 to 9. So first 4 notes. And that 10 to 12 is kind of like, it's like a grace note, 10 to 12. You really want to hang out on the 12th. Okay. And then go to the B string, play the 10th fret, and go to the 8th fret of B after that. So far we've got first 6 notes, 10, 12, 8, 9, B string, 10, 8. We're going to go over to the G string now, 9th fret, to the 7th fret. Pull that off. It's like a grace note too. You're going to spend very little time on the 9th fret, go right to the 7th fret. So far we've got 10, 12, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 7. We're going to hammer on now. Keep in mind this is over A7, A dominant 7th harmony. So we're going to hammer on 5 to 6 like that. You can hear that note just beautiful, just makes that change. It sticks out and it's so harmonically correct and melodic. So let me do it slower for everybody. 10, 12, 8, 9, 10, 8 on the B string, 9, 7 on the G string, 5, 6 on the G string. Okay, that's kind of what I consider the first half of the lick. Now we're going to go to the D string. D is in dog. 7, 5 of D. And these notes on the A string next are going to be like the blues note, the flat 5, the E flat going to the D here on the 6th fret to the 8th to the 5th fret. Those are going to be like real quick, like. So let me break that down. So it's the 7th fret of D, 5th fret of D, go over to the A string, 6th fret, pull off to the 5th fret, go down to the 3rd fret of A, hammer on to the 4th, and then end it on the low A on the 5th fret of E. So here it is slow. Slower. 3, 4, 5. Here's the whole thing. Should I try to play it fast? I don't know. Fast can say nothing like what Guthrie can do. Obviously, I'm just showing you what I'm excited about. That's the whole point of this series is what am I checking out? It's like a daily guitar journal here. So let's see. Yeah, a little sloppy. Let's try it again. It kind of does that. Yeah, it's just like really addicting to play that. Phew, what a cool lick. Yeah, just check out that song. It's called Shag Rug Burn. Just everything else in it is ridiculously good. Okay, cool. So moving right along because I like to have structure. So that's our teaching portion is complete. I did something last time where I shared a book with you and I just shared a quote. Sorry, I'm trying to reach over here to my music stand. And I've been reading this book by Stanley Crouch. It's called Kansas City Lightning, The Rise and Times of Charlie Parker. Really, really having fun with this one. It's just, he's very poetic in his writing style, and there's a lot of interesting, I think Stanley was a drummer. He kind of got his fame as a jazz critic and a literary. He wrote a novel called Don't the Moon Look Lonesome. That was like his crown jewel writing piece. I haven't read that yet, but it's a work of fiction. This is nonfiction, but there's just so much like context that he fills in. It's almost like reading a really satisfying novel as well. So I wanted to share just this. Here's where this starts. This is on page 32. And so Charlie Parker is playing. This is sometime in the 40s. He's playing with the Jay McShann big band, and he's the featured soloist. He's like Jay McShann's secret weapon, where Charlie just played like nobody else at that time, and he was a true innovator with the bebop approach. And so Jay McShann was the big band leader, and they were playing at the Savoy Ballroom, and they're talking about how Charlie, what he did during his solos in that band, and what that was like, and what sort of magic he was able to spin from his horn from his saxophone during this, while the rhythm section was burning away behind him, and just giving him a great background to play over. So okay, so stretched out like that with the rhythm section after his scalp and the cyclical traps of the harmonies ever before him, Bird reached down and called upon all his skills and instincts, all the gifts for perception in emergency that he had developed over the years. Even at this tempo, making coherent statements, playful variations, and mocking responses to the musical ideas by which he was surrounded, supported, and attacked. His obsession with shifting, deceptive rhythm resulted in endless ways of toying with a beat that gelled perfectly with his desire to create melodies accompanied by harmonic surprise. In his hands, a single note functioned on 5 levels. Its individual pitch was melodic. It was a brass-balled harmony note. It was given individual texture through his control of color. Its voicing was dictated by the register in which it was played. And it served a rhythmic function within its phrase. As Ramey said, Bird knew how to dance in and out of that meter with the tempo and still get back when Mama comes home for dinner. He could take a chord that had a bastard relationship to the rest of the harmony, and before you knew it, he has woven that bastard into the flock like it was supposed to be there all the time. I think that what that conveys to me is just the what was going on, what was actually happening melodically, harmonically during those early days when, the guy that kind of came up with all the language that we love, the language of bebop and jazz, how he was navigating and just how he was thinking. Anytime you can get into the mind of a genius, and Charlie Parker was a genius. I mean, he really was. He had all the features of a genius, and he had a really rough life, of course, too, and everything that he befell him and all that, and an early demise and all the tragedy. But he just had the musical genius that I don't think anybody can really argue against that. And there's no point in it. It's just beautiful. His music is beautiful. Yeah, so I don't want to go too long. I try to keep these under like 15 minutes. They could go longer. But yeah, so thank you so much for being here. Thanks for checking out my chat guitar play and teach and sessions. And sorry for the hokey name, but I think that it's kind of cool. It just kind of came to me. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm really into reading about AI and what's coming down the pike in the future. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of come up with a series on guitar that followed that acronym. So anyway, I was going to mention something else, but you know what? I'll be back in a little bit with another video, and feel free to leave a comment. You can always subscribe if you enjoy what we're doing here, which is I aim to be very laid back and simple and not have a whole lot of flashy things going on. There's nothing being promoted here. When I talk about people like Guthrie, again, I've never met the man. I just know that he's doing wonderful things with the guitar. And I believe in spreading goodwill when someone's doing good works like him and is kind of creating a community. And the people over there, I was watching the live stream, like I said last night, of his trio playing from the Underdog Lounge in East Nashville. And the people in there are just really positive, like the comments. And that's pretty cool. To see people that are just nobody's saying anything, that's just like out of left field. Everybody is just so positive and supportive of what he's doing. And, the music is genuine. It definitely, he plays from the heart. You can tell that. You can tell when somebody really has it. They have the gift of guitar. I wish I had it. It's something that you gotta, I'm going to work on it, but it's something that, I think people are, when you have it, you know it. And if you don't have it, it's a lot of work to get it. And that's what this is about, though. Just got to put in the time and keep that passion alive for the guitar and for music. All right, everybody, this is Tom. I don't know if I even introduced myself, but yeah, thanks for being here on my channel. Good night.